Hi guys, it's Lady Lauren Explorer. Welcome to my book channel. Sorry if you see my nose is red. I just went outside to walk my dog and it's very, very cold outside. Very, very cold. So today I'm doing part of my wrap up for January. I'm going to do everything as I finish the books, or about around the time I finish the books. So I don't have to do all of them at one time. So here's what I finished so far. If you didn't know, in December, I started off on a series called The Lord of White Hell, and this is Javar. Lord of White Hell is a story about Kyram, and Kyram goes to this school, it's almost like a Catholic school, and he's the first of his actual, I guess, culture to go to this school in like centuries. And his culture is not right for their academy. His culture is looked down for in their academy because his culture is mainly for like women. Women are the breadwinners. Women get the wealth. Women decide who gets what. Women were the pains in a relationship, and men can be with other men if they want to be. While, in other societies, it's the opposite, and male and male relationships are looked down on as sin. So him going to the school is very big in their culture and for this school. So he gets put in with a roommate, and it's Javar. Javar is very handsome. I will link what I said about this, because this is not about this book, because I read this book in December, like the last few days of December. I read this book and it left me on a cliffhanger, and I was so mad at Kyram because of that cliffhanger that I literally bought the book after I finished reading it. But it wouldn't come in until after Christmas, and then it did, and then I read it January 1st after reading another book, which I will tell you about in a minute. So I got The Lord of Hell book 2, and that is Kyram. So I can't tell you much about this book because it would ruin this book. But I can tell you that everything in book 1 is actually resolved in this book, obviously. But there are some like hidden twists in here, and there is just like so much in here that I was just like, what? Oh, okay. All right. It was really good. It wasn't as good as the first one, because the first one just like got me, but I really wanted to like resolve this. I know that there's like a shoot off series of this, but I don't want to read it because it doesn't have feature these two, and I just, this is their story, so the duology is theirs. So this was great. I liked it. It was a fun read. I read it in one sitting. It was good. Loved it. I gave this 4 stars. So, goodness. Okay, so this next book I read over a series of days, but I finished it on the 1st of January. And it's Mariana Zapata's The Wall of Winnipeg in Me. I started this on December 28th. I was supposed to do a hiatus. I actually have a whole dedicated video for this, so I'll link it in the cards. But I have a whole dedicated for this, but it was so good. I know people either like love or hate this kind of work, because again, it's big. And so they either don't see tension or they see tension. So for me, I saw tension. And you don't see romance, or you see romance. I didn't see romance until like the last few pages, but people saw romance in this like half the book, and I was just like, where? But I saw romance in like the end of the book. It's like a lot, but this is like super slow, like slow, the slow roasted pig thing on a low simmer, like or it's a stew that you have to like simmer for like 72 hours. It's like that kind of simmer, that slow. It's a slow burn. Like this is like 600 and something pages of nothing but slow burn. But I won't talk about this a lot because I have a video linked above for this. But I give this one 5 stars because it was great. I'm going to be reading some more books, so I'll see you in my next update. I'm just not feeling this book. I was wondering why it was taking me so long to read this book. Usually it takes me 1 to 3 days to actually read a book if I'm really interested in the book. And I'm at the 3-day mark. Sorry, someone's texting me. I'm at the 3-day mark and I'm at 100 pages. I haven't even made it to I'm at like 22%. I I thought I was interested in it, and I'm not. I'm just not interested right now. So I'm gonna have to DNF this to get on and move on to something else. While we're on the same subject, I am reading How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days. And I thought that I was going to actually like this book. I am on page 30. And again, this book started off like okay with me because I live with a person who is like this person, but for Harry Styles. So I have no, like, I'm all for her in her obsession with Keanu Reeves. That's how my roommate is for Harry Styles. The writing style is cool with me. I'm just not into this. I'm gonna try to make it to 100 pages and see, but if I don't make it to 100 pages, this is probably going to be a DNF for me as well. I probably am going to come back to this book at some point in time, but I'm probably not going to come back to this book if I, it hasn't spoken to me. There's nothing, it's just not for me. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not even going to make it to 100 pages. I think I'm just going to DNF this. Yes. For my own good, this is going to be a DNF. Well, that's 2 books off my January wrap up, and we're going to move on to another book. And I will see you in my update. Okay, so I finished another book. I'm down to, I think, 3 books now after this one. And I finished What If It's Us by Becky Albertella. I probably mispronounced that word. And Adam Severia. And I must tell you, this book is really good. It took me a minute to get into the book because it's kind of thick. But this is about Ben and Arthur. This is Arthur and this is Ben. And Arthur is in New York because his mother is working on a case because he's from Georgia. And they meet happenstance. Ben is trying to mail his ex's things to him. And it's so cute. But I don't want to like ruin everything, but like something happens and then like Arthur and Ben like don't like hook up. Like they don't do the number thing. They only have like first name and what the conversation was, trying to find each other online based on the clues that they've gotten from the conversation they had, and they find each other. And it's really creepy. But like in fictional text, it's cute. I don't know how like it translates to like real life, but it's kind of cute. So this is like their story, because like Arthur's only supposed to be there for the summer. So you can already know like something's gonna happen. Summer romance. So it's just so cute. And then there's also another relationship that's going on. I think there's like two other relationships that's going on, because you have Ben's two friends, Dylan and Samantha, and then Arthur's two friends, Jesse and Ethan. It's just like a lot of like relationships that are coinciding with Ben and Arthur's relationship, and it's just like really nice to like see other relationships coinciding with our relationship. It's just like it's cute. And then obviously, like I'm not even spoiling it for you. They break up. Like that's not a spoiler. They actually break up. Because there's a second book. So but they break up on good terms. It's just like a nice relationship. And there's subtle drama. It's just a nice book. It's very wholesome, very great. I loved it. It got me out of that slump that Finley Donovan is killing it, and definitely How to Marry Keanu Reeves in 90 Days got me in, and I was just like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to want to read this. And then I loved it. So, yes. I think I'm going to give this 3.5 stars, mainly because I wanted steam. I just want steam. This was great, but I want steam. So, on to my next book. So, the next book I finished is Reverie by Ryan LaSala. So that's so weird. So it's by Ryan LaSala. And this book is really different. It's a YA magical realism book, is what I got from it. But we follow a young adult named Kane. And Kane has lost his memory. He was found outside of a burning building in a river with bruises all over him. And he actually doesn't remember a lot of things. He doesn't remember most of his friends. He doesn't remember why he was there. He doesn't remember any of the events that happened or what's going on. And the police who did the investigation said that this looks deliberate. The thing about it is, the building was burning, but it was raining. So how did a burning building burn? Very like burn while it was raining. How did this happen? Who pulled him out of a burning building? There's a lot going on, and he's trying to figure out what it is. So then we start getting like the point where his memories are missing for a reason, a magical reason. And the people that were his friends and are his friends might not be his friends, but he doesn't know if they are or not. Like, there's so many twists and turns in this book that like you don't know who you should trust or if you should trust them, because he doesn't know if they're trustworthy, because he doesn't remember them. And what other people are telling them about friends and new people, it just seems kind of right. But it's him following how to get his memory back. And also, Reverie, which is the name of the book, is this magical system, world. It's this environment that happens, and he gets sucked into it because he is other. And you'll find out all that kind of stuff. It's just like really, really in depth. This is very great magical world building. But like you think of, like, I thought it was one thing, and then all of a sudden, like, I think it's like page 30 or 60 is one of those. It just like switched. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? Like, I thought we were just trying to find out who messed with his memory. And now you're telling me, like, his memory's messed up because something else, and like his friends are not his friends, or maybe they are his friends. It was just like a lot going on for this book. And it was complicated for no reason. Like, I think maybe I was just like not getting it, or maybe I wasn't feeling the story, so I was just stuck, and I wasn't really like into the story that I would have been if I like was feeling up for it. But it's just I wasn't into it. So for right now, I'm giving it a 3. I don't know if I would reread this. It started off really good, and then like that twist that had happened, I was just so confused of like what was going on. Like that plot twist that happened to me, I was not expecting it, and then they kept happening, and I was just like, what am I doing? What's going on? Like, am I the person that's like not getting this? Am I? But yeah, it's a 3 for me. A solid 3. I am going to read one of his other novels, Bedazzled. So, but it's a cool. I did like the relationship between Kane and Dean. That was cute. You could tell something was going on without it being going on, and then like towards the end, you find out, and I'm just like, come on. Yeah, so that's it. That's my little spiel for this one. On to the next book. Okay, so I was supposed to be reading Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James, because this is a BIPOC author. I heard many, many great things about it. But there are certain things that I'm not comfortable with reading. The one thing is incest, and then the other thing is sexual assault gang-wise, and this book has a lot of that in it. I read it in the trigger warnings. I learned my lesson about reading books trigger warnings wise. So I don't read the synopsises. I just go to the trigger warnings to make sure that some of the things that I don't just jump into the books and be triggered. So this does have that in it, and bestiality in it, and it's just not, I'm not comfortable. For my mental health and my peace of mind, I cannot read this. So yeah, this is going to be a DNF. So yeah. On to the next and final book, which is She Who Became the Sun. And I'm probably going to read this very towards the last week in January. School starts on the 18th, so I'll just save this for the last week. And yeah. Let's just move on. So we're on my final book for my TBR for January, and it's She Who Was Who Became the Sun. Wow, almost it's She Who Was Not Be Named. But so right now I am on chapter 7. I'm 112 pages in. I already have my mark for when I'm going to stop reading tomorrow, and that's on chapter 13, I think. Yeah, chapter 13. So basically we have Zhao, I think it's Zhao, and she takes her dead brother's name to hide amongst the monks. She becomes a monk, and then that's where we're at right now. Then we have Oyang. I'm going to just call O. O is an Unshin, and Unshins are very, what's the word for it? They're not highly thought of in this time period. They basically were born men and identify as men, but they have been castrated. So they don't have any of the manly parts that make them men. They don't have their bits. And he is the general for an army that's opposite of Zhao. So Zhao actually was born a female, but now she identifies as a male. So I got confused for a minute because I was like, well, like, is she so entrenched in her identity that does she think she is, or is she going to transition? This is weird right now because she still goes by, in her own mind, and actually in the book it says it's she, her, even though we all know that Zhao to everyone else is a male. So I don't know if later on in the book we're gonna change to he, him for Zhao, but right now it's she, her. I actually don't really know what this book is about. I just found out this is dual perspective, and I'm like, wait, but it's she who became the sun. Like, why is this dual perspective? But this is weird. So Zhao takes the destiny of her brother. That destiny was supposed to be he was going to be the greatest. His fortune's going to be great. He's going to make history, all that kind of stuff. So she takes that and she's going to make it happen with herself using her brother's name. And I'm guessing this is where this is at. The thing about it is I'm not liking it. I'm hoping that as the story goes on, I'll like it. But right now, it's just not resonating with me. And I am 20% into it now. So I'm not gonna give up like I would before. But I'm not reading it. I have the audio for it. So the audio is reading it with me. And then I look to just make sure that I it's just I don't know. And I know that a lot of people said that this was great for them, 5 stars, 4 stars, but right now I don't like this. And maybe it'll grow on me, but for right now it's just not vibing with me. But I'm hoping that later on we can have some resolution. But for right now, this is enough for me. But I will continue reading, and I will update you guys with my final thoughts in a little bit. So see you then. So this just wasn't for me. I couldn't get with this story. I wasn't really into it. I switched from audio to reading and then back to audio, just trying to figure out which one would work for me. And audio worked much better. It's just that I didn't care for the story, so there wasn't, like, I just wasn't there. So I'm gonna give this a 2 because I didn't care for the story. I didn't care for the characters anymore. I was just over it. And it's horrible that, like, I had to do this because I'm just like, oh, everyone likes this. But for me, it just wasn't what I wanted out of a story. But I don't know what I wanted out of the story. It's just, I just couldn't get into it. So this is just a 2. That is it for my TBR wrap-up. I will see you again for my next one for February. I can't wait to tell you guys what it is. It will be coming up on my channel in a couple days. Yay. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. My name is Lady Lauren Explore, and I will see you later. Bye.